Okay, guys, we're back for day 3 in body paragraph 2. Remember, this is our counter argument paragraph, so it can be a little trickier. Okay? It says, in this paragraph, you will address a counter argument. One reason why someone like your reader might support the opposing position. Write a sentence that summarizes the counter argument you'll rebut in paragraph 3. Since this is body paragraph 2, that makes it paragraph 3 overall, because we're going to have an introduction. We already did this in day 1. So I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to go find it. Remember when I made that space right there? Here we go. Let's go down and we're going to copy it and paste it. Whew. Now, since this is not the same thing as my thesis, I can just leave it alone. I don't have to change this one. Quote and page number, and how does this support your controlling idea? Again, we're going to copy and paste from day 1 because I did a good job up here. I gave myself lots of evidence to work with and some analysis to work with. Okay. We're going to come paste it in. Perfect. All right. In the space below, write out your counter argument and rebuttal. Remember that your paragraph should introduce the counter argument, bring up evidence that proves the counter argument wrong, explain that evidence, bring up your rebuttal, explain that rebuttal with evidence, and then have a closing sentence in that order. Whew, that's a lot. So the first thing we're going to do is introduce the counter argument. That's this again. I don't have to rewrite it because I've already done a good job. So I can just go ahead and paste it right there. However, I can't forget to indent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what should I do next? Bring up evidence that proves the counter argument wrong. My first one was about how big dogs can sometimes knock people over when they get excited. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce it. My text evidence came from Grimley. So I'm going to go ahead and say on page 36, the author tells the reader, there we go, I'm keeping myself out of it. I'm just going to use a little bit of a piece because I don't need the whole thing. I just need this sentence right here. And I'm going to paste it. And now, since I included page number, I don't need it at the end. But I do need to include a comma and some quotation marks, and then I need to specify that it's Grimley here. Notice that my period goes outside the parentheses. I almost messed it up there for a second. So I don't want to say this text evidence shows. That's a little repetitive, and I'm a better writer than that. So I don't want to say it again. But I am going to go ahead and copy and paste this. I'm the one that wrote it, so not plagiarizing. All right. Whoops. Not over the whole thing. Oops. I need to copy and paste better. So instead of the whole box, I'm just going to make sure I only get the text. Let's try that. There we go. This text evidence shows. Instead, why don't we say this shows the audience. I already said reader right here, so I don't want to say it again. This shows the audience that big dogs can sometimes knock people over when they get excited. Knock people over. Big dogs. These are kind of boring, so I'm going to say larger dogs can sometimes, let's say, get too jubilant. Jubilant. That's a good one. I replaced excited with jubilant. Get too jubilant and cause people, especially older people, to stumble. Ooh, yeah. That's a good one. How many of you have tripped over a dog before or been knocked over by one? Since Banjo is not a big dog, I kind of like that. I'm going to keep it. Look at my complex sentence there, starting with the word since. He can only knock over small children. I don't have any small children that would cry if this happened. So Banjo stays looking cute instead of being dangerous. So let's say, instead of small children, why don't we say he can only knock over, or he can only, let's look up another synonym. Synonym for knock over. What's a synonym for knock over? Topple. He can only topple small children. I don't have any small children that would cry if this happened. Listen, I don't need to include details about me, so I'm going to take this out. So Banjo stays cute instead of being dangerous. Let's change this to because he is never around toddlers. We're going to change it and say Banjo stays looking cute instead of being dangerous. Dangerous is kind of a strong word. Why don't we say instead of being a hazard? Yeah. Sometimes he's a tripping hazard. He likes to lead the way even if we don't know where we're going. All right. So, we brought up evidence that proved it wrong, explained it, and we brought up our rebuttal. Okay, I said, Banjo's not a big dog, so it's not a big deal. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do it again. Okay. At the end of the creature's long story, I want to use this entire piece. So let's come down here. We're going to introduce our text evidence. We already said in addition earlier up here. So I don't want to say in addition again. What about furthermore? According, no, we already said according. You know what? I think I'm just going to use it just like it is. Bam. I did it again. Let's go redo that. Bam. Furthermore, I'm going to use the entire quote. Look, it's even formatted correctly for me. That's pretty nice. Let's see. I'm just going to change that. All right. I don't want to say this text evidence shows. Let's say, the author is very clear in showing the reader. Do you recognize that? It's kind of from our ECR, but this is a lot bigger than an ECR, isn't it? We're going to copy and paste and change. The author is very clear in showing the reader that long tails on dogs can sometimes knock over drinks on the coffee table. I like that how it is. I think that's pretty good. I don't think I need to change that sentence. Since Banjo just has a short tail, he's actually got something called a docked tail. So why don't we change that to a docked tail? He can't knock anything over with it. You said knock over a lot. He can't jostle any beverages with it. Yeah. This keeps him from being a nuisance. I think that's a good vocab word, so I'm going to keep it. and makes him seem cuter. All right, we need a closing sentence. Since Banjo, this keeps him from being a nuisance. Let's say, we said all in all earlier. I think I want to save in conclusion for my conclusion for the whole essay. Why don't we look one up? Transition words and phrases for conclusions. Ooh, look how specific I'm being. After all, consequently, we don't want to use that. We're going to save that. Therefore, as a result, hence. Ooh. According to sum up, that's a good one. For these reasons, why did I say that? For these reasons, Banjo is the cutest dog ever. Notice my prompt wording. Banjo is the cutest dog ever, even though he is a medium-sized dog and let's see, his tail is very small. Very small is a little boring. Let's look up a synonym. Synonym for very small. Minute, little, slight. He's a wee tail. Miniature, puny, cramped, limited, dwarfish. Let's go with diminutive. Diminutive? I like that one. Well, hang on. I clearly can't say it, so let's check up. Very small, dwarfish, undersized, extremely small. Okay, the definition matches what I thought it meant. Is diminutive. Yeah, good vocab. Okay, we are done with day 3. Day 4 is introduction, conclusion, and final draft. You need an introduction to the essay and your thesis. It should include a hook, a reference to what the essay is about, use language from the prompt, and a statement of the thesis. Write my introduction in the space below. All right, so a hook is something that I use to get my reader's attention. Good hooks for argumentative essays include facts. They include using lots of imagery. They include special quotes. Now, since not many people have talked about my dog, and since I don't have to, facts. Let's look up facts about Australian Shepherds. How many people own an Australian Shepherd? The 12th most popular dog in the US. Okay, that works for me. Let's use that. In 2021, the Australian Shepherd was the 12th most popular dog in the United States. Okay? Now, a reference to what the essay is about or a statement of thesis. No, not or, and a statement of thesis. So here's the thing. My thesis includes language from the prompt, as it should. So I'm combining these two ideas right here. Let's go all the way back to the top, and we're going to copy our thesis. We did a great job on day 1, so we're able to copy and paste on day 4. Whoops. I did it again. Make sure when you copy and paste, you don't accidentally get the whole box. Just get the text. That's what happens when you have text boxes that you're working with. Bam! I'm going to indent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my introduction. You need a conclusion for your essay. It should include a restatement of the thesis and a final thought. Write your conclusion in the space below. All right, let's see. A restatement of the thesis. Banjo is the cutest dog ever. I'm going to start my conclusion with in conclusion. It's best to combine everything together with transition words. In conclusion, my dog Banjo is clearly the cutest dog ever. I'm keeping some language from the prompt. Due to his beautiful fur and his endearing, that means we think it's cute, endearing tail. A final thought. This is where I can bring some emotion in here, or maybe some extra imagery. His brown and red rainbow of hair. No, that's weird. Let's see. I want to talk about things that we've already discussed. I don't want to bring up anything new. I can't talk about blue eyes. I can't talk about sometimes how his tongue sticks out even when his mouth is closed. Let's see. His cuteness, I'll adjust this later. His cuteness. That's not, the word isn't overrides. His cuteness is greater than any other dog I have ever known. I'm going to try to avoid the I. So I'm going to take I have out of it than any other dog ever known. Very nice. Now, I see something that I want to fix, and it's in my introduction actually. In 2021, the Australian Shepherd was the 12th most popular dog in the United States. Banjo is the cutest dog ever. See how they don't really connect? Banjo, an Australian Shepherd himself. There we go. Now I've made a connection there. Let's end it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're done. When I type my final draft tomorrow in class, because that's when it's due, is the next day, on day 5, I'm going to copy and paste my introduction. Then I'll copy and paste my first body paragraph. Then I'll copy and paste my second body paragraph. And then I'll copy and paste my conclusion. It's okay that my introduction and conclusion are kind of short. That's not a problem. Okay? If you have any questions, email Miss Brown. Bye.